Good morning and howdy everybody. Hope all y'all had a good rest. Feel bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning. There's Kitty Callie right there. She's always nearby, I tell you. And all y'all on the other side of the world, I pray y'all get good rest and sleep tonight. I really do. Because that's important to our body. Hey y'all, we're going to be reading, as we read through the Bible together this year, from 2 Samuel chapter 15 and 16. I like doing 3 chapters, but I know y'all don't like spending the day listening to this old bald-headed redneck, so the chapter 15 and 17 are both kind of long. 16 is not so long, but if I did all 3, that would probably be more than y'all would like. So I'll just do 15 and 16. And at this time, I have no plans for other videos today other than your evening reading when we read through where we're at now. I can't even remember. Let me see here. Jeremiah. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, but that's a different Jeremiah. But, you know, I'm going to be spending a lot of time with the Holy Spirit today, so there's no telling what I may come up with, what He may give me. There may be 2 or 3 more videos, there may be no more videos, I don't know. And I've got my realtor called yesterday and said a realtor in the big town just south of me has some clients that wants to look at my house tomorrow. So it's clean. I could let them in just like it is, but I'll tidy up some stuff and vacuum and sweep the floors and stuff like that, because with all the rain we've had, stuff gets tracked in when I go outside and come back in, and I go outside and come back in a lot. All right, y'all, let me get started here. I'll sit here and ramble and ramble and ramble until my time is all gone. And that reminds me, speaking about time being all gone, our time here on earth is just about all gone. I don't know, I think most of y'all are cognizant and awake to that fact. Therefore, my dearly beloved, we need to be using our time wisely. The world has a whole lot more lost people in it than it does saved people. And I think most of the people on my channel here are Christians. And so friends, we got a big job to do. It doesn't matter if you're not a preacher or evangelist or Bible teacher. I'm not either. I'm none of the above. Never have been, never will be. But we all are called to be a light in the dark world. So get your butt out and be that light. And use your mouth to share Jesus. Doing that is not against the law right now, unless you try to share Jesus with any member of the LBGQB, ABCDEFG bunch. There are laws written making that against the law in certain states in America. This country is so messed up. So be careful on that one. I'd probably do it anyway and risk going to jail, because those people need Jesus. They need Jesus. and the Muslims need Jesus, and the Mormons need Jesus. There's a lot of people out there that need, and the plain old bald-headed rednecks like me need Jesus. I was a bald-headed redneck when I got Jesus, an old bald-headed redneck when I got Jesus. I hadn't had Jesus that long. Jesus got me. I didn't want him. Anyway, let me stop my rambling. We got a job to do, seriously. And I can't do it all by myself. And it came to pass after this that Absalom prepared him chariots and horses and 50 men to run before him. And Absalom rose up early and stood beside the way of the gate. And it was so that when any man that had a controversy came to the king for judgment, then Absalom called unto him and said, Of what city art thou? And he said, Thy servant is of one of the tribes of Israel. And Absalom said unto him, See, thy matters are good and right, but there is no man deputed of the king to hear thee. Absalom said, Moreover, oh, that I were made judge in the land, that every man which hath any suit or cause might come unto me, and I would do him justice. And it was so, that when any man came nigh to him to do him obeisance, that he put forth his hand and took him and kissed him. And on this manner did Absalom to all Israel that came to the king for judgment. So Absalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel. And it came to pass after 40 years that Absalom said unto the king, I pray thee, let me go and pay my vow, which I have vowed unto the Lord in Hebron. For thy servant vowed a vow while I abode at Geshur in Syria, saying, If the Lord shall bring me again indeed to Jerusalem, then I will serve the Lord. And the king said unto him, Go in peace. So he arose and went to Hebron. But Absalom sent spies throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, As soon as ye hear the sound of the trumpet, then ye shall say, Absalom reigneth in Hebron. And with Absalom went 200 men out of Jerusalem that were called, and they went in their simplicity, and they knew not anything. And Absalom sent for Ahithophel the Gilonite, David's counselor, from his city, even from Gilo, while he offered sacrifices, and the conspiracy was strong, for the people increased continually with Absalom. And there came a messenger to David, saying, The hearts of the men of Israel are after Absalom. And David said unto all his servants that were with him at Jerusalem, Arise, and let us flee, for we shall not else escape from Absalom. Make speed to depart, lest he overtake us suddenly, and bring evil upon us, and smite the city with the edge of the sword. And the king's servant said unto the king, Behold, thy servants are ready to do whatever my lord the king shall appoint. And the king went forth. That should be us, y'all. I'm serious. He said, And the king's servant said unto the king, Behold, thy servants are ready to do whatsoever my lord the king shall appoint. He was talking about an earthly king, not a heavenly king. How much more should we be able to say the same thing to our heavenly King, our heavenly Father? Thy servants, that's us, you, true Christian, are ready to do whatsoever you, my Lord, the King, shall appoint. Again, this is not talking about our Lord, our King. It's talking about earthly lords and kings. If they give that much dedication to their earthly lords and their earthly kings, how much more should we give the same to our heavenly Lord and heavenly King? The, you know, I just don't understand. People want to be a Christian, but they don't want to share Jesus. How can any Christian not want to share Jesus? Don't you see? Don't you know that the world is going to hell if we don't share Jesus? Sharing Jesus is not just for preachers and evangelists, it's for every Christian person. And the king went forth, and all his household after him. And the king left 10 women, which were concubines, to keep the house. And the king went forth, and all the people after him, and tarried in a place that was far off. And all his servants passed on beside him, and all the Cherethites, and all the Pelethites, and all the Gittites, 600 men which came after him from Gath, passed on before the king. Then saith the king to Ittai the Gittite, Wherefore goest thou also with us? Return to thy place, and abide with the king, for thou art a stranger, and also an exile. Whereas thou camest but yesterday, should I this day make thee go up and down with us, seeing I go whither I may return now, and take back thy brethren, mercy and truth be with thee. And Ittai the king, and Ittai answered the king and said, As the Lord liveth, and as my lord the king liveth, surely in what place my lord the king shall be, whether in death or life, even there also will thy servant be. Bam, y'all. I gotta do something. I don't know what. My back. I'm sorry. Whereas thou camest but yesterday, should I this day make thee go up and down with us, seeing I go whither I may return now, and take back thy brethren, mercy and truth be with thee. And Ittai answered the king and said, As the Lord liveth, and as my lord the king liveth, surely in what place my lord the king shall be, whether in death or life, even there also will thy servant be. And David said to Ittai, Go and pass over. And Ittai the Gittite passed over, and all his men, and all the little ones that were with him. And all the country wept with a loud voice, and all the people passed over. The king also himself passed over the brook Kidron, and all the people passed over toward the way of the wilderness. And lo, Zadok also, and all the Levites were with him, bearing the ark of the covenant of God. And they set down the ark of God. And Abiathar went up until all the people had done passing out of the city. And the king said unto Zadok, Carry back the ark of God into the city. If I shall find favor in the eyes of the Lord, he will bring me again and show me both it and his habitation. But if he thus say, I have no delight in thee, behold, here I am. Let him do to me as seemeth good unto him. The king said also unto Zadok the priest, Art thou not a seer? Return into the city in peace, and your 2 sons with you, Ahimaaz thy son, and Jonathan the son of Abiathar. See, I will tarry in the plain of the wilderness until there come word from you to certify me. Zadok therefore and Abiathar carried the ark of God again to Jerusalem, and they tarried there. And David went up by the ascent of Mount Olivet, and wept as he went up, and had his head covered, and he went barefoot, and all the people that was with him covered every man his head, and they went up weeping as they went. And one told David, saying, Ahithophel is among the conspirators with Absalom. And David said, O Lord, I pray thee, turn the counsel of Ahithophel into foolishness. And it came to pass that when David was come to the top of the mount where he worshipped God, behold, Hushai the Archite came to meet him with his coat rent and earth upon his head. A lot of times in the Bible, as this instance right here, when they use the word rent, they mean tore. His coat was rent, his coat was torn. Unto whom David, if thou passeth on with me, then thou shalt be a burden unto me. But if thou return to the city, and say unto Absalom, I will be thy servant, O king, as I have been thy father's servant hitherto, so will I now also be thy servant. Then mayest thou for me defeat the counsel of Ahithophel. And hast thou not there with thee Zadok and Abiathar the priests? Therefore it shall be that what thing soever thou shalt hear out of the king's house, thou shalt tell it to Zadok and Abiathar the priests. Behold, they have there with them their 2 sons, Ahimaaz Zadok's son, and Jonathan Abiathar's son, and by them ye shall send unto me everything that you can hear. So Hushai, David's friend, came into the city, and Absalom came into Jerusalem. If it just got suddenly brighter here, it's because Callie turned on a computer walking by it. I think she uses that computer while I sleep at night. All right, chapter 16, y'all. Still in 2 Samuel. And when David was a little past the top of the hill, behold, Ziba, the servant of Mephibosheth, met him with a couple of asses saddled, and upon them 200 loaves of bread, and 100 bunches of raisins, and 100 of summer fruits, and a bottle of wine. I'll behave and not comment on that one. And the king said unto Ziba, What meanest thou by these? And Ziba said, The asses be for the king's household to ride on, and the bread and summer fruit for the young men to eat, and the wine that such as be faint in the wilderness may drink. And the king said, And where is thy master's son? And Ziba said unto the king, Behold, he abideth at Jerusalem, for he said, Today shall the house of Israel restore me the kingdom of my father. Then said the king to Ziba, Behold, thine are all that pertained unto Mephibosheth. And Ziba said, I humbly beseech thee that I may find grace in thy sight, O Lord my king. And when King David came to Bahurim, behold, thence came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei, the son of Gera. He came forth and cursed, still as he came. And he cast stones at David and at all the servants of King David, and all the people, and all the mighty men were on his right hand and on his left. And thus said Shimei when he cursed, come out, thou bloody man, and thou man of Belial. The Lord hath returned upon thee all the blood of the house of Saul, in whose stead thou hast reigned, and the Lord hath delivered the kingdom into the hand of Absalom thy son, and behold, thou art taken in thy mischief, because thou art a bloody man. Y'all, was Saul saved? That we're not talking about Saul now. I mean, they just mentioned Saul, but Saul was back in earlier books that we read, and he pretty much hated David, his nephew, I think it was. Then said Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, unto the king, why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over, I pray thee, and take off his head. And the king said, what have I to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah? So let him curse, because the Lord hath said unto him, curse David. Who shall then say, wherefore hast thou done so? And David said to Abishai, to all his servants, behold, my son, which came forth of my bowels, seeketh my life. How much more now may this Benjamite do it? Let him alone, and let him curse, for the Lord hath bidden him. It may be that the Lord will look on mine affliction, and that the Lord will requite me for his cursing this day. And as David and his men went by the way, Shimei went along on the hillside over against him, and cursed as he went, and threw stones at him, and cast dust. And the king and all the people that were with him came weary, and refreshed themselves there. And Absalom and all the people, the men of Israel, came to Jerusalem, and Ahithophel with him. And it came to pass, when Hushai the Archite, David's friend, was come unto Absalom, that Hushai said unto Absalom, God save the king. God save the king. And Absalom said to Hushai, is this thy kindness to thy friend? Why wentest thou not with my friend? And Hushai said unto Absalom, nay, but whom the Lord and this people and all the men of Israel choose, his will I be, and with him will I abide. And again, whom shall I serve? Should I not serve in the presence of his son, as I have served in thy father's presence? So will I be in thy presence. Then said Absalom to Ahithophel, give counsel among you what we shall do. And Ahithophel said unto Absalom, go in unto thy father's concubines, which he hath left to keep the house, and all Israel shall hear that thou art abhorred of thy father. Then shall the hands of all that are with thee be strong. So they spread Absalom a tent upon the top of the house, and Absalom went in unto his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel. And the counsel of Ahithophel, which he counseled in those days, was as if a man had inquired at the oracle of God. So was all the counsel of Ahithophel, both with David and with Absalom. And there's your chapters 15 and 16 of 2 Samuel. And y'all, unless I get raptured out of here today, I'll be back this evening with some more readings from God's holy, inspired, and errant word. And it's all good. Every drop of it is delicious. That's it for now. See y'all later, friends. God bless each and every one of you.